Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us in time. We are like 9 minutes past the time to start. I think we are having some people practicing African time. I don't know why, but welcome once again to Microsoft Copilot. Elevate your productivity and creativity with Copilot. So I'll be handing over to Mohammed, who will be taking us through the call today, and I will come back to have a few discussions afterwards. So once again, thank you guys for joining. Over to you, Mohammed.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Mohammed. I'm a modern work solution specialist, and today we will be talking about Microsoft Copilot, the new artificial intelligence solution that we have implemented across our businesses and customers. I'll share my screen right now. So, yeah, let me include the sound, and here we go. So, to understand how Microsoft Copilot works, we need to understand how M365 works. So, Microsoft 365 is the back end of Microsoft 365. Can you hear me good? Because I think Teams is loading for some reason. Yeah, all right. So Microsoft Graph is the platform where all the Microsoft 365 services are connected, and you can use the SharePoint site, and you can find the Word document that is working across SharePoint and OneDrive, and you can also access it from an Outlook email, things like that. So these are connected experiences that are operating through Microsoft Graph. So Graph, it has all the data of the organization, the Active Directory data, the identities, the endpoints, the cloud apps, everything is stored on Graph. So when introducing artificial intelligence to M365, this happened through Microsoft Graph. We introduced the large language models of the AI directly to Graph, and then it absorbed and went through all the data there and started using them to categorize the data and be able to help you when you use AI queries. For example, when you ask a question, it scans everything that you have access to, and then it provides you with answers to your question. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is the security aspect of all of this. As now I have AI that has access to everything that I have access to, and AI in general for the organization has access to the whole organization data in there. So we need to understand that we as a host and we as a provider for the service, we don't have eyes on your data. So we only give you the environment, the platform, so you can operate your data from there. We give you means to manage your data, protect it, and also apply any kind of policies on there, any kind of inside risk management to your data inside your organization, like DLP and sensitivity and data classification and things like that, right? So we don't see your data. We just are there to host it for you and for you to manage it. But we, or OpenAI, Microsoft, we don't have access to your data. So therefore, any training that happens to the large language models of AI is happening inside your organization. It doesn't report back to us. We don't collect logs on how you or what exactly are you feeding AI and how AI is improving inside your organization. This is only internal to your organization. It happens inside with Microsoft Graph of your organization, but we have nothing to do with that. We only host it for you. So now when we talk about the user experience inside the organization, when you ask Copilot a question, what information exactly or where does it get information from? When you ask AI a question, let's put it with an example. If I am chatting with one of my colleagues about a project and we have been exchanging messages and documents like presentations and Word documents, Excel documents, and we have been talking about this project for a long time. We have also sent and received some emails together about that project, and now 2 weeks later, I am asking Copilot a question about that project. It makes sense that now it will scan everything I have access to and give me a brief answer or detailed answer based on the information that are there, like in my private chat, in my emails, in my OneDrive, everything I have access to, basically. And also the public internet. If there is anything in the public internet, it will also provide an answer for that. So let's say that one other colleague of mine who didn't or who don't have access to the chat, the private chat of mine. Of course, he doesn't, and who wasn't looped in the emails that I was exchanging with my colleagues and asking the same exact question to AI. He's inside my organization, but he wasn't looped in the emails or wasn't involved in any of these chats. The answer that this colleague will get is completely different from mine because he doesn't have access or she doesn't have access to that information. So they only will get an answer based on the information that they have access to. So it will be a completely different answer than the one I got because I have a bigger scope about this project. I have more information about it. So they will get different answers because they don't have access to that. One more thing about the security, if you're asking or you're extracting information from Copilot from a resource that was classified with any kind of sensitivity classification, data loss policy was applied there, retention was applied there, the resulted content will actually get the same exact security. It will inherit whatever classification that was applied on the original content. So if I am extracting a summary for a PDF file that was classified as do not forward, the file, the generated file, will also inherit the do not forward classification from the original one. So that was the security, let's say, summary of how Copilot is working inside your organization. So in a nutshell, it has the same exact security features we have been using in Microsoft 365 for years since we started, and nothing is changing here whatsoever. Now I will move to the productivity part of Microsoft 365 Copilot, and I will start with the chat. We will leave the questions, of course, till the end of the session, but let's finish the productivity part. So, of course, you guys know about ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is developed by OpenAI. So we are using the same engine that is being used by ChatGPT. It's the same exact one as Microsoft acquired OpenAI. So we're using the same engine. And now the difference is it's not just counting on or relying on the public internet data to provide information, but also it's unique now for every organization as it interacts with Microsoft Graph. So every user has his own Copilot. When you assign a license of Copilot, now it's exclusive and unique to that user because it has access to his mailbox, to his OneDrive, to his SharePoint, to his Teams chats and meetings. So it's unique for him. It has a different knowledge base for every user. So for example, if I started my day in the morning, I'm asking Copilot, maybe I was away for a week or two, and I came back and I have so many emails in my inbox and also so many meetings I missed, and people shared with me like many files. So I have a lot of things to catch up with, and I want to catch up with that. So what I do in that regard is I maybe open the M365 chat and I ask it, can you summarize the most important mails I missed? And let me know about the most urgent tasks. So I click enter. Then now I actually define the scope where Copilot should scan. So it will go through only my inbox and it will summarize the important emails and the most important tasks that are pending on me. When it does that, it will put it in a way that I will show you in the next video that I can proceed maybe with one of these tasks if I wanted to. I can only ask it to summarize the meetings I missed and ask about specific information in these meetings, things like that, right? So I will play a video for you. The audio might be a little bit low, so I encourage you to put your speakers the whole way up. I'll play it for you right now, and then we can discuss it.
Introducing Microsoft 365 Chat, a powerful new capability in Microsoft 365 to solve your most complex problems at work. Let's say you're a marketer at a national chain of home improvement stores, and you need to get the latest on the store opening. You start your day with Copilot, asking what's hot in your inbox today. It does some thinking and gives you an overview of the most pressing items. Great. Looks like the new store opening plans could use your attention. Let's dive in deeper there. Copilot combs through all your recent emails, chats, documents, and meetings, whether you attended them or not, to get you up to speed in moments. It didn't just summarize a single document, it knew what sources to pull from and what information to extract from each. Next, you need to do some market research. Let's say you want some details on square footage and the proximity of competitors to your new location. M365 Chat scours the web, and within seconds, it finds everything you're looking for. And it includes references, so you can easily fact-check the results. You're curious, how does this stack up against the other stores you opened in the past year? Copilot figures out which stores you mean, crunches the numbers, and gives you the answer. Next on your to-do list, finalize the date and speaker for the opening event. You missed the last meeting, and this might have come up in the conversation. Copilot's got you covered, getting you up to speed in seconds. Looks like it was a dynamic discussion, and it's your responsibility to make the final decision. To do that, you need to understand all the factors at play, including the implications they have on your grand opening timeline. Copilot extracts the relevant details and puts them in an organized table, which helps bring the full picture into view. You're not seeing a clear answer, so you ask it to recommend the best date and speaker based on the constraints discussed. It not only understands the constraints, it thinks through the options to help solve your problem. There you go. Now you have a clear recommendation so you can make the call and notify the team. Now that you've got your opening date, you've got to get the customers excited. Time to write a blog post. You point Copilot to the right files and ask it to pick the top 5 things and make them prominent. Here it goes. Give it a moment. Okay, now you've got a blog post. This store will be the first to unveil your new home improvement concierge service, and you need a catchy tagline. Let's generate some options. This is great for when you've got a case of writer's block. Here we go. These look pretty good. You want to add a blurb on the new store manager and highlight their impressive retail experience. Copilot pulls the information from LinkedIn and puts it in the blog for you. The opening is just around the corner, and you've got to send an email to get the team ready. Now, one of the amazing things about Copilot is you don't need to worry about things like punctuation, spelling, or being super structured in your prompt. You can just give it a total brain dump, as you can see here. And what you'll find is the more context you give it, the better the results. There was a great quote in the store walkthrough video that you want to include, but you don't remember where you last saw it or have time to search for it, let alone rewatch it to find the quote. Based on your quick description, Copilot can find the exact video you're thinking of, extract the quote you wanted, and plugs both the quote and the video into your email. Let's hop over to Outlook to refine the email. So you like the draft, but it doesn't sound like you. Introducing Sound Like Me in Outlook. Now Copilot can personalize any email to match your unique style and voice. It even gets the subtle details right, like how you sign your emails. M365 Chat is a whole new way to work.
So that was a real life example of how you can use M365 chat to get many tasks done in real time. And this is just, a way of using M365 chat. But of course, the possibilities are limitless here. So that was the idea here. It's like ChatGPT, but I have accessibility to the data inside my organization, plus the interaction with Graph that gives you the capability of using the connected experiences of Office 365. So to move to the next part of the presentation, which is the ability to use Copilot outside M365. also for questioning and answering. So every organization has its own internal systems that they use outside of M365. Like not everybody is counting on the platforms of Microsoft 365. You could have an ERP system or a CRM system or whatever system that is out there that you're using, any SaaS technically, that you're using that has also company's information, and employees are interacting with that system every day. So if you wanted to know information about that system, what you can do is you can use Copilot Studio to connect it directly with M365. Copilot Studio, the function of that software is to use pre-built plugins to connect Microsoft 365 chat with any web hosted platform. So anything with a URL, either it's fully hosted on the cloud or synchronized to the cloud. What you can do is you can connect it to Microsoft Graph through Copilot Studio, and when you do that, then the AI will start the same way it did with Graph, it will do with that software. So if you directed Studio, for example, to a specific tab or page in an ERP system, or maybe the whole system, it will study everything in there and absorb it. And then once it's ready, you can launch it for the whole organization as an admin. And when people start asking questions about information that is outside M365 but still internal, then since you connected this internal system, the information will be obtained from there. We have so far more than 1,200 or 13 even hundred pre-built plugins that you can just, with a plug and play scenario, you can just connect it to that platform, whatever it is, and then it will be under the AI right now. You can ask it any questions and you will get the answers from there. So that is Copilot Studio, and this one is included in the license of M365 Copilot for business, of course. There is another studio that is a standalone, and this one is a bit more complicated, and this one is for building your own Copilot. So you have the ability now to get a few resources and use the AI engine to just get information from these specific resources. So you connect them to the AI, and once you do that, you will dedicate this new AI to only answer from these resources, not getting information from anywhere else. This one is available as a try. You can have a trial with it for and the model, the licensing model for this one is per message. So you pay for a specific number of messages, questions and answers, I mean, and then it's per consumption. So that one is a standalone. But connecting anything to Copilot for the whole knowledge base, this one is under this license. So yeah, that's about the Copilot Studio. To move to the third and final part of the productivity suite of M365 Copilot is the application of Copilot on the desktop applications of Microsoft 365. So every single app under Microsoft 365 now has its own Copilot, and the Copilot of these apps is for or serves the main purpose of the app. For example, if we're talking about Teams, so Copilot in Teams Teams is an instant messaging application. So you use Teams for calls, for meetings, for chats. So Copilot will serve in this scope. So for example, if you joined a meeting late, then what you can do is you can ask Copilot to summarize the meeting for you so far, to recap the meeting for you so far. And when that happens, you will understand what the attendees were talking about. It will capture the spirit of the meeting, and it will let you know how to get involved if you want to ask some questions, or you wanted to add any point, or you get to know the action items now, since what questions were not answered, predicting the upcoming discussions, so you can get involved with it. But this is during a meeting. But after a meeting as well, you get to see the meeting recap that is captured also by AI. So as you see in the screen here, this is the recording of a meeting. This is an example, and this meeting is 2 hours long. And you missed it, but it is important for you. As you see here, it says product roadmap discussion. So it's kind of important if you're involved, so you need to know what happened. As you see here, there's These are AI captured notes. This is a summary that is letting you know what was discussed. So maybe those two lines here are summarizing a discussion that went like for 30 minutes or something. So here it says Serena wants to book the product roadmap before she and Daniel commit to more feature enhancements. So that is a summary, and you see here, okay, there is a task as well. So Daniel will follow up on feature enhancement prioritization. Now I know that there is a task pending on those people here. Everyone has its own task. And yeah, we will follow up. So there is some meeting minutes that were captured by AI who doesn't miss anything. But also there is one thing here that I need to mention, that every point has its own reference. So if you wanted to hear this conversation, the reference will be here. You click on it. It doesn't appear in this screenshot, but it will appear if you're using Teams with AI now. When you click on it, you will get back to that part of the transcription. So the transcript and also the video. So if you wanted to hear it yourself or read the transcript yourself, you can do that. So let's say you don't want to hear the whole recording and you don't even want to read the notes. You just want to ask about a specific piece of information. To do that, you just need to click on the Copilot icon. It will open the chatbot and you can ask it about whatever you want. When you do that, it will get you the answer, also with references. So you can navigate to that part in the video or in the transcript. The capabilities of using Copilot in Teams are, of course, included also in the chats. So it can help you to reply to chats based, of course, on the messages and based on the way you reply and the information you always provide. It understands your pattern and it helps you to reply using the information that you always or usually share with people. For example, in Outlook, you can see that very obvious. When you use it in Outlook, it's Outlook is for hosting emails, right? So when you host your email in Outlook, it understands how you write emails. And as we saw in the video, there is a feature called Sound Like Me. So it also gets how you write them. So let's say you have been looped in a very long thread. And now this thread is pending on you. When you just, expand the thread, you find like more than 100 messages maybe. And now people are expecting you to share your input on that thread. So you have the only option you have here, you have two options, either to read the last email and just reply without knowing the whole context, and maybe you will reply with something that has been shared already, or you need to read the whole thread. Now Copilot can use the summarize option to summarize the whole thread for you. And not just that, it will also help you to draft a reply. So it will recommend a reply. So maybe based on its understanding, it will tell you to, okay, you can say this or you can say that. If you don't want to do that, you don't want to just reply using AI directly, you can tell it, like open the Copilot window and ask it, okay, draft a reply saying that I'm approving this, but I am not okay with this and I need more clarification on that. It will draft the reply for you. If that reply doesn't sound like you can click on the sound like me option. It will change the way the mail is written, but the same core information will be there and the email will sound like you. This is also some way of using Copilot in Outlook. So it helps you with the productivity to get things done quicker and with better quality as well. Same concept applies on the rest of the apps. As I said, it serves the purpose of the app. So if you have a Word file, for example, and you have so much information in there, you can rewrite any paragraph you want. You can just highlight it and then click on the Copilot icon and ask it to rewrite. And when it does that, it gives you multiple options to choose from. It will rewrite the paragraph multiple times and you can choose whatever you want, which one you want to be applied there. You can also rewrite them in different ways. Like if there is a paragraph that is talking about pros and cons, you can just ask it to write it in a form of a table instead of a paragraph. If you have a Word file that has more like 200 pages, maybe it understands everything in that article. So if you ask it questions about the information in there, it will provide you with answers, right? So these are ways to use it on Word. Same applies on Microsoft Excel. Of course, Excel is a complicated application that requires an expert to use it. Now you don't need to be an expert anymore. You can just ask it to add columns or add tabs, more more rows about this or about that to forecast based on the data in the table, things like that. And you can also use Python to generate graphs and generate visuals about the information in the table. Things like that can be very beneficial, and you can also get things done without going to an expert. If you're stuck with an Excel file and you want to get things done quickly, Copilot can help you with that. Maybe we can see a live example right now on using Microsoft Copilot on Outlook desktop app. I will share right now a blank PowerPoint presentation to use Copilot on PowerPoint. And as I repeated multiple times here, it all depends on what is this application does. So this application here is PowerPoint, and PowerPoint is for mainly for presentations. So if I clicked on the Copilot icon here, and I asked it to maybe create a presentation about AI, since we're talking about it, and I clicked enter. Usually you should give Copilot like, let's say, more information so that the answer would be better. Don't do it like me here. I'm just saying create a presentation about AI. I should give it more context, because the better context you give, the better the result you would get. But now it's getting the most common information about AI on the internet and creating a presentation based on that. All right, so it came up with this, and let's see how this works. So as you see here, this is what will be presented on your screen, on the monitor, whatever that monitor is, for your viewers. And here you can see the speaker notes. So the speaker notes are saying here, artificial intelligence or AI has become one of the most transformative technologies of our time, impacting business, industries, society as a whole. And then you keep going. This is the presentation. You see how it made it. Presentation overview, basics of AI, latest advancements in AI, real world application. What is artificial intelligence? Types of artificial intelligence, components, advancements. The more you go, you see, it came up with many slides, like 16, ending, of course, with the conclusion. So this is like the first piece of work it came up with. And this is not the end product. You can change that. You can ask it to add more content about, whatever you want, change this slide, add more information to that one. So it will take you multiple hours to come up with something like this. And if it has that quality of this one here. So it came up with that in a minute. So it helps you to get things done, as I said, quicker and with better quality. Also, you can use Designer, of course. If anyone here works with PowerPoint frequently, you know about Designer to change. If you don't like it that way, maybe you can change into this way, something like that. So this now, like Microsoft made this study that proved that 90% of the Office 365 users are using 10% of the capabilities of the applications. So now Copilot is here to unlock the rest of the capabilities of these apps so you can get the best out of them. So that was the part about the productivity. Now we can talk about now this part is over. The productivity part is over. I have just one thing to mention. As an admin of M365, a global admin maybe, you get the way to understand how Copilot is impacting your organization. So you will have some statistics to understand what is going on, which app has been used the most, and how much time did it save. And you can see how your users are interacting. You can understand the pattern of the users using Copilot in their organization. And as an admin, you will start directing that based on the statistics that you have here. So these are good insights that we usually collect feedbacks from admins, and we give you the ability to submit your feedbacks on such platforms, so we can even improve the product. And I have to tell you that every month we add more features to the applications, the desktop apps, based on the AI. We even released the whole new teams, and we recommend all our users to use the new teams so that they can get the best out of AI on their organizations. Now the last part, which is the pricing, but I have to talk about something before I talk about the prices. First of all, these are the announced prices, the official prices on the website. So now, as you see here, we have something called Copilot Pro. This is not the one I was talking about today. This one is for individuals, not for businesses. So anyone can subscribe to that. You don't have to have a custom domain, or you don't have to be running a business. You can use it on any Microsoft account you have, and you can subscribe to Copilot Pro. It doesn't give you what is in the license that I was talking about today, which is Copilot for M365, as this one is for individuals. But the one I was talking about here today is this one. This one is that interacts with Microsoft Graph, because Graph is exclusive to organizations. So this one is counting on the data on Graph to function properly. Of course, it works on Teams as well, which is a difference between that one and Pro. And it works on the rest of the desktop apps. Also, it has Copilot Studio to connect your Graph to whatever platform you're using outside Microsoft 365. So yeah, that's my presentation. Let's now see what can be done next. Maybe questions and answers, or anything. Back to you guys.
Right. Thank you very much, Mohammed. Really do appreciate explanatory demonstration. Yeah. So I think there is something I wanted to say, especially regarding the comparison with GPT at this time, because I know that the GPT-4 has additional some newer features that that responds more intelligently. I mean, how do how can I compare it with what Copilot has?
Well, Copilot now is counting on GPT-4. So if you're using Microsoft Copilot at the minute, well, OpenAI is like the platform where they become way more innovative, like everything, like way more creative. We take from OpenAI the most features that we can depend on and put them in Copilot for M365. So ChatGPT-4 was there from the beginning in Copilot. When Copilot was introduced to businesses, we started counting on GPT-4. The free version of Copilot, even the Copilot Pro free version, it will give you the option to choose between 3.5 and 4 if you started using it. So that also we give our users the ability to catch up with the most recent updates on the internet. So yeah, we're using it already, and this is the engine that we count on Copilot for M365.
Oh, okay, great. So I want to create a scenario. Let's say I'm trying to do an email now, and my boss has just said to me, "Oh, I need us to reply to the mails I've received over the weekend because today is Monday." Now, what do you think? What feature of Copilot do you think I could be able to use that will help me, achieve that with a very, very short period of time?
Yeah, well, you have two options here. The first one is to open the M365 chat and to summarize the emails you received, and even you can ask the AI to recommend the answers to all these emails. You can just give it some context, or the way you want these replies to be like, or what type of information you want to be there, and then it will hop over to Outlook. It will take you and jump to Outlook, so you can reply to the emails. This is one option. The second option will be directly from Outlook. to open Outlook, and then when you open the message, AI will be there for you. If you wanted it to recommend an answer, or you maybe just write a couple of lines. Like now, if I want to write an email, I just open Copilot and say, okay, reply to that customer saying or explaining the differences between this plan like E3 and E5, and highlight the compliance part or highlight the compliance features. It will construct the whole email, and then yeah, you're ready to go. It will even get the name of the recipient and put it there, and also add my signature. It will do everything. So this is actually the let's say the quickest way to get things done, and the most efficient way.
That's really like if I understand what you are saying, someone who is let's say an executive assistant or trying an administrative assistant, like it's almost that's the job. It's already doing the stuff. Okay, so let's say I want to. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying it doesn't replace the person. It just helps the person, right? It doesn't replace the employee, but it is an assistant to the employee. So if you are, it will not do the job on its own. You have to put directions. You have to give information to determine the direction of these replies. So it is like a secretary, but a very smart one that helps you to get things done. That has access to every piece of information you have in your organization that I have access to, and it's helping me in this regard. So it doesn't replace. This is something very important because I'm hearing people saying it is replacing us. No, it doesn't. It just helps you to get things done quicker and letting you focus on the stuff that really need the human factor in them.
Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, let me try. So, is there any questions around the ability what this thing can do from any other person on the call, just so we put things in every necessary question to anyone. So you can use the raise hand icon, so you can unmute your mic. You can also drop it in the chat. Chat is a bar that makes it hi here, so it's easy for everyone to reach. Okay, so this is it. Send hi in the chat. So. Okay, yeah, so if you can see the chat, I just dropped hi, so you can drop your question. If you want to ask directly, you can just raise your hand then, or just unmute your mic and, you can ask the question.
I can
and
recap.
Also, if any...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I was just saying I can recap what I said during the session. Maybe that would trigger any questions that the people had. So in the beginning, we started with the security factor about Copilot. Then we spoke about the M365 chat and the capability of connecting M365 chat to other platforms outside Microsoft 365. So maybe that if you guys have questions about these points, maybe yeah, you can go ahead and ask them these questions now. So I see the first question I have here is about Copilot on Mac. So there are no like limitations on Mac. So Copilot is there for the Office 365 package. If we're talking about desktop applications, no, it functions properly there as well. And it's working with the boundaries of Apple. So nothing really is significantly wrong with that here. It should be fine. And of course, the capabilities on the web are the same because that's irrelevant from the operating system of the device. So if we're just talking about the desktop package, it's technically the same. Nothing is like there are no shorts there. It should be cool. I see also Abel has written down from an admin perspective, what are the steps needed to set up Copilot for an organization? Specific organization don't have some security policy. sensitivity labels and likes in place. Well, first of all, once you assign the license to users, then you will be good to go. It should be fine. You should be able to use Copilot. The icon will appear there on the desktop apps, and the M365 chat icon will pop up on office.com and also on the applicable applications. About the security, you can always use the secure score of Microsoft 365 to secure your organization. It will give you recommendations about what should be done in terms of the security and how to use the available resources to secure your organization. One part I didn't mention is that there are only some licenses applicable to get the add-on for Copilot. Copilot is not a separate license, right? It's an add-on to some licenses of Office 365. If we're talking about business and licenses for small and medium businesses, there are only two licenses available for the add-on of Copilot. We're talking about business standard and business premium. Those are the available licenses where you can add Copilot to. If we're talking about enterprise, we should mention E3 and E5 in both Office and Microsoft 365, E3 and E5, and also Office 365, E3 and E5. All these licenses can actually have some basic securities like the multi-factor authentication and the single sign-on, and these are the necessary authentication features that are needed to, for example, connect third-party platforms to Office 365, because when you use single sign-on, you can sign to those using the same credentials. That's the basics, right? If you want to install DLP, for example, so DLP starts from E3 and from Business Premium, and this is the manual DLP. The most advanced DLP only in E5. So those are not mandatory for Copilot. Of course, these are great features for security, but are not mandatory for Copilot to function or to do anything. But what I was saying is that when you have them there, the AI will respect them. It's not going to be something that the AI is not going to interact with. No, the AI is going to respect those and function according to them. I hope that answered the questions. Any other questions? That's great.
Okay, so in the chat now we have a very quick survey that we want us to run with. I think I am seeing that it says please.
Yeah, I stopped presenting. I stopped presenting. There are no. The presentation was over.
Oh, okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll follow up. We'll have a little reschedule for this particular one. I think I have some people who said that it skipped their calendar somehow, so we'll reschedule for this, and we'll give some more time to people to have some, more that will help them to get to understand the Copilot. But for those who attended this particular one, we really appreciate your. Okay, someone has a hand up. Okay, please go ahead.
I'm sorry. Good day. Please, I'm not following because number one, I can't see the speaker. Number two, there is no slide or anything to look at. So it's kind of like my attention is not 100% here. So can you do something about that, please? Thank you.
Right. So I was presenting during the whole. I just switched off the presentation 10 minutes ago because my presentation is done. But can you let me know what exactly you're not following so I can address it? And maybe I can show you something on the screen while I'm doing that. Like, which part of my presentation didn't you really follow?
Okay, yeah. I joined late, so I didn't catch the
Oh.
presentation.
Well, it's recorded, I guess, right? I think it's recorded, and you can hopefully watch it from the beginning. And yeah, hopefully you will find the answer to the questions, or you will have the general
Yeah.
idea about it. Yeah.
Okay, but can we just see your face though? I don't know.
My face? Okay, just bear with me a
Yeah.
second. All right, no worries. Let me switch on my. I hope. Yeah, here is. Hello, everyone.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, sometimes it's always important before the end of the call to show a face, because sometimes the audience want to put a face to the name and the voice, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
really does help. So, but sometimes because of the network, we don't want it to lag. That's the reason why we turn off the video, because yeah, when there are people on the call, the teams sometimes, if your network is not very good, you have issues trying to follow with the video.
Yeah, it consumes the bandwidth.
So we just leave the audio on, and exactly. All right. So basically, I think that we kind of get a feel of it, but we will have to still have this event again, because many people they came late. I think I have up to 6 persons who joined almost 20 minutes past the time. So, and with Microsoft, the time is, once it's 10 a.m., it's 10 a.m. we start, and it's also on record. So maybe I'll share the recording with everyone. I'll upload on YouTube and share the link so you can have access to it. But I will still advise that, when we follow up with you, you can, indicate to join the next batch, maybe before the end of this month, or beginning of next month. We can still have it to make sure that everyone is on the same page. It would really help. But anyone who did follow, to those who did follow through to this time from the beginning, the chat is open right now, and I just dropped a form. Please click on the start now button, and access the form so that you can get to see what we have there. So after this event, again, I said we'll share you the link but it will take a while for us to convert it and share on YouTube so you can access it. But we have something which we've kept for the first 3 persons who would be interested with Copilot. So the thing there is, Copilot is about it's an annual subscription for those businesses who would like to adopt it. So, but we are saying for any of who is willing to quickly engage us, the first 3 persons who engages us and say, oh, I think I want to use Copilot, I think I'd like to try it out, we will be offering you a 10% discount. There is no discount actually from the online. There's no discount online, but we just want to use that as a thank you message to say, oh, you attended this event. The first 3 persons who says, oh, we want to have Copilot, want to test it out, we will be able to give you 10% off of it. So I think the fastest finger would work here. Anyone who is able to make that request, you can access the start now button here, and also indicate that you want to get to use Copilot, right? And we can just quickly reach out to you. And I'm seeing someone says, what is the cost? Okay, yeah. So Copilot is around, I think it's the annual subscription is around $300 for a user. Like it's billed annually, so you make your budget for 1 year, so you just pay for 1 year to use it. It's not like a normal subscription, like you pay monthly. It's an annual subscription, so it's around $300, roughly, something around that. But like I said, we have that discount available. So just let us know that you want to. Wow, I'm having so much people's requests right now. That's interesting. So I'll just check the first 3, or we can still extend it to see how many people who will really, really love to have it. And we'll do that, and you get to enjoy the benefit. So once again, we really do appreciate everyone. There is something else. If you're an organization and you have a physical presence in Lagos, wow, did I disconnect?
Yeah, you disconnected for a minute.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're looking to offer to any business that has a physical presence in Lagos. That's what we call the business process automation. It's similar to what Copilot is, but this is more with Microsoft Power Apps. So if you have any process in your organization that you want to automate, like maybe approval process, expense, HR, something like that, we just want to offer, anyone who is physically in Lagos that benefit at this time. The first 5 people who are interested, we can have you, do a session where you get to understand what it's about. We really want to digitalize most of the businesses within our locality, right? Just like a way of giving back. So if you have a process, just like you're trying to, maybe your CEO is not around, or as a business owner, you want to automate some of your processes, just reach out to us. It's also there as one of the options that you can use as a perk. Indicate that option, and we'll reach out to you and make things, digital for you, right? And I think there's one more thing. There is what we call the attendance management solution. If you are a human resource person or a business owner and you want to keep track of your attendees coming to the office, going out, remote workers, we have a solution also we built on Microsoft, which would help you, make that process easier, right? So you don't need to check or use a manual paperwork and all that. So basic thing is just to eliminate paperwork, right? So Microsoft Power Apps is something that also helps to achieve most of this solution, business process automation, right? So we are offering that also as a freebie if you make an order for the Copilot. So it's like something that comes side by side. And there are many more we can do for you, but just you have to write to us, or you have to fill the form. Any thing regarding adoption for Copilot, training for Copilot, anything you need to do regarding Copilot, just reach out to us. I'm trying to drop contact here. Yeah, you can send to contact@lotusbetaanalytics.com. You can send to myself, lotusbetaanalytics.com. All right, see you guys soon. We're just 2 minutes past our supposed closing time. Please enjoy the rest of your day. If you have any requests, let me know. We'll see you on the other side. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you, Mohammed. Really do appreciate your time on the call. Thank you.
Thank you, Amir. My pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. All right, please, if you know you also came late and you would like to join the next session, please kindly drop your email in the chat, or you can just message me back on the email that I shared earlier. That will really help us to identify those who came late and would be joining us for the next round of session, please. Thank you very much.